Hello and welcome to the inaugural episode of the LTLFC Lowdown. On this podcast, we'll be getting to know the players and staff at Luton Town Ladies and discussing their careers in the game, the disjointed first part of the campaign and games that are still to come this season. What better place to start than with captain and vice-captain, Jess, McKay and Jess Oliver. Welcome to the show.
Just as a first question really for both of you is how have you felt with lockdown and sort of trying to keep yourself prepared, obviously, for the upcoming games starting tomorrow?
Jess, do you want to go first?
I'll go first. To be fair, it's been really difficult because I always feel I push myself more when I'm training in a squad. Trying to do stuff on your own is quite difficult. It's hard to motivate yourself sometimes when you've been working all day, you come home, it's pitch black because it's been winter, or it's peeing down with rain, and you just don't want to go out on your own. If you football training, it's completely different because you've got all the squad around you to drive you on. So yeah, it's been really difficult.
Yeah, I'd have to second that as well, to be fair. I think, like I was saying to Tom just before, I've been doing some bits on the field, but although they're your teammates at training, you kind of like compete with them a little bit. So if someone's made that little extra run, it's like,
yeah,
right, I better do that as well, so I get noticed and little things like that. So I think unintentionally at training you push yourself a bit more because you're kind of competing. There's always that competition, you just don't know. Whereas when you're on the field on your own, it is a little bit tricky. It's a lot of self-discipline that none of us have really had to ever worry about before. So kind of it being dropped on us like a bomb, it was a bit like, oh, how do we sort of react to this, and how do we go about sorting this out, you know, and keeping fit during this period of time.
And I mean, from my point of view, obviously I was at the last games, or the games at the start of this season before the break, and it seemed like you were all quite a close group anyway. So does that make a difference, you know, without the social aspect of it as well? Does that affect the sort of the motivation as well as the fitness?
I think, I don't know about you, Shez, but I think that we've had 2 sessions now, and it almost felt like we haven't been apart as a team. You know, we've come back and we clicked straight back in, and I think a lot of the girls have been communicating with each other outside of football as well, obviously, you know, via Zoom or whatever. So I think that's helped, but I thought it may have a bit of a wobble when we come back in terms of just everyone getting back used to being together and stuff. But I'm really happy because we seem to have just clicked straight back into where we left off, really. So I don't know about you, Jess.
Yeah, it's almost like we've never been away. Like the banter started straight away. Everyone's having a laugh, but you know, when it gets down to stuff, everyone's serious about it as well, and you can see they just can't wait to get going again.
Yeah, I agree. Couldn't agree more with you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it has been a long break, but obviously we have to remember it is still the same season as before. And it was, you hadn't played many league games at the start of this season because there was quite a cup run, wasn't there? And obviously now the league is null and void. Does it help that you were on quite a good run in various cup competitions at the start of the season for getting back into it, or does it feel like a different season?
To be honest, we'd only played 3 league games, hadn't we? And we still had like 19 to go. So it's almost like we didn't really get our league season up and running. But we had an amazing run in the FA Cup. We played, you know, some really strong teams in it. So I think cup competitions are a bit of an unknown anyway. And you can never, you know, judge who you're playing, whether they're league above, league below, because cup competitions just throw anything at you. It's just a one-off game and everyone always gives everything for it. So, you know, you've got to expect that the team that we're going to play are going to be in the same position of us, haven't have done team training like we haven't either. So it's going to be, well, anything can happen really, to be honest. I think it's all going to be down to who wants it more.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, in a way it does feel like a new season because, like Shez says, we played 3 league games. It almost felt like the league never started for us. It was almost, you know, like a couple of friendlies, and then we went into a competition straight away. So we didn't really get a chance to show the league what we had necessarily, but also we didn't also get to see what was going on in the league as well, whereas other clubs did get that advantage. But I think luckily for us now, it was a long enough gap that, like Shez said a minute ago, that we're all back at the same spot. You know, no one's got that kind of advantage. We've all been through the same thing. So I don't think it sort of affected us really, but it didn't. It does feel like a new season to me. I feel feels like I've left and come back.
Yeah, so the league obviously being null and void is obviously that wasn't the ideal scenario for anyone. But do you think in the situation you were in, was that the right decision, or would you have preferred for it to sort of hang on and try again once we were out of lockdown?
I think logistically, with the amount of fixtures just us alone had, we never would have been able to finish it in time. And even if we played every Sunday and midweek every week, we found the first week we got back at training, it starts snowing. So all it takes is for a couple of cancellations, and then you're really trying to cram games in. So if we've all pretty much done the same amount of games going into restart, I think it would have been okay. And I think we would have been up for carrying on. But the fact we had 19, there's other teams that had quite a few games other than us as well. I just don't think, I think they made the right decision logistically, even though we would love to have, kicked on and see where we're at this season and push for promotion, because that's ultimately what we want.
Yeah, I think I do agree. Like, logistically, I think it was possibly the right thing to do. I think tactically, potentially, we have benefited from it slightly. Obviously, if we think about it, we've played 3 league games. There's some other clubs in the league that have played far more than that. So potentially the next few league games after us coming back could have been quite crucial to us in terms of getting the points, and there would have been a lot of pressure after 4 months out, or however many months we've been now. I've lost count of it, but there would have been a lot of pressure coming back, not only just coming back from that amount of time out, but also we need to be getting those points early doors, and the other clubs in the league have had that chance already at the beginning when we were all playing and training and everyone was up to scratch, whereas I think we wasn't part of the league then. Obviously we was in the cup, so I think for us potentially it's done us a bit of a favour. Personally I feel we was in a very, very strong position, and if we had gone back to the league, we may not have finished the league how we would have done if break never happened, because we were doing really well. And I think that would have been unfair on us as a club or as a team to potentially finish the season not as strong as we started for circumstances that we couldn't have stopped, really. So, for a little bit for the team and stuff and mentally for us, I think it probably is the right thing, although we all love to play, so we didn't want it, but tactically and strategically it probably has helped us slightly.
Yeah, and I mean, Nikki was telling us about obviously a couple of new players joining you, the squad sort of changing around a little bit. Do you think that's another benefit of a longer break?
I think so, yeah. I mean, Shez, you know Wiggy a little bit more than us, one of the signings, and Bex as well, who's been a signing. Bex has played for us for, through the youth. She took a break to go to uni, but was quite a big loss when she went. She was a quality defender, consistent, her fitness is unreal. But, I mean, Wiggy has just shown class, to be fair. In the 2 sessions that I've seen her coming back from months out, like, she's just a team player. She's great at communication. I mean, the fact that she's potentially going to be playing alongside me / in my position, like, she's a decent girl, and I mean, she's shown nothing but good football since we've been at training. So, in my opinion, both quality signings, and it's definitely done us a favour potentially. So
it does add some depth to our squad. Obviously, Rebecca, I don't know. Wiggy, I've known for quite a long time, for about 6 years or more. And the players obviously have Wiggy's got a lot of experience. Rebecca's obviously got a lot of experience with Luton as well. So, we're bringing in players that, are really good players. So we're boosting the squad, not just with numbers, but with quality, which is massive for us to take that step on.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Shez, you've hit the nail on the head there, like quality over quantity. So, I'd rather 2 good players than 5 average, and that's what we've done. So I think it's only good from here, really.
Yeah, and you said about taking the next step. Do you decide that as a team? What like your goal is? Obviously, for this season, it's not gone quite to plan because obviously any goals for the league will have been written off. But do you all come together, or do you each have your own idea of where you think you should be, where you think the club should be?
I think we kind of get that from Nikki and that lot. We all know the vision of where they want us to be, and you join a club like Luton because that's where you want to be. Otherwise, why would you join there? They're ambitious. They spent, 15 years up in the national leagues. That's somewhere where they want to be back at again. And that's certainly the reason why I came to Luton. So,
yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously, most of my first team career was in the national leagues and stuff. So obviously, it was a devastating time when we did get relegated. In my career, we'd never been in that position before, so it was a big shock to us at the time. And all the girls felt the same. Like, we get on so well. We all know where we should be and where we deserve to be. I think that's the difference sometimes. Like, there's where you want to be and there's where you deserve to be. And I think we deserve to be higher. With the ability we've got in the squad now, I think everyone feels the same. Naturally, everyone's got their own personal goals, but I think as a team, we're all definitely heading for the same goal, which is such a nice thing to have.
Where do you feel like your positions are most? So, are you particularly a midfielder, defender, striker? Start off with Shez.
Well, at the moment, I'm playing holding centre mid. I played quite a few years at centre half, which I quite liked. Obviously, you can lead the team from the back there, and you can see the whole pitch, and But playing just in front of the back four, I really enjoy that role. But to be honest, I'm just quite happy to just play. I'm not fussed where I get put, but yeah, anywhere there really. Just not up front or in goal.
That's the next step in your career, yeah?
I think I'll be on a bench somewhere, maybe coaching, hopefully.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely prefer midfield. Currently playing in the number 10 role at the moment, so just in front of Shez, just behind the likes of Dion or our striker at the time. During my career at Luton, I've played pretty much everywhere, but in goal, because I point blank refuse that. Unless they're shooting from like outside the 18-yard box or something. But no, number 10 is definitely my preferred position. I love getting the ball and sort of spraying it out wide and, knocking it in behind for Dion and stuff and sort of creating play. I mean, everyone thrives off scoring, but I quite thrive off being the assisting the goals as well, and knowing what you did and what your decisions led to that goal ultimately. So I think, which obviously is quite versatile as well, but I do my fair share. If they need me in defence, then that's where they put me. I'm more than happy. A bit like Shez, which I think a lot of the girls as well in the club, but a bit like me and Shez are very similar. I think just let us play, put me where you want, but I just want to play, please, sort of thing. So, yeah.
Fair enough. In terms of strengths, both of you seem to like to see more of the pitch as opposed to, like, with vision, you want to be able to see more of the pitch as opposed to more in, like, you want to be more of a team player as opposed to the whole thing. I was just going to say, what are your strengths as individual players?
Mine, I would say I'm always really positive. Even when things aren't going right on the pitch, I'm always a positive voice. And for me, I just try and lead by example, the same as Jess does. I would like to speak about Jess actually. Low power mode. No, to be fair, Jess is a great skipper for us. She leads by example as well. Fantastic player. unbelievable ability, and the squad's completely like that. But for me, it's just about using my experience and just helping other players out there by talking to them. I think having a voice out there makes a massive difference a lot of the time.
I mean, yeah, I couldn't agree more. Like, Shez is like 100%, like probably the most positive on our team, like, period. Which is brilliant when she's playing behind me. Like, the communication is unreal. So yeah, 100% yours is definitely positive communication, just communication in general. For myself, I think my speed maybe, and I don't know how I do it, but people have told me that I manage to run fast, but people seem to like bounce off me. Obviously, I've never been able to watch that from an outside perspective, but yeah, I think I'm never very good at giving myself compliments, to be fair. So I've managed to give you one that's like other people have managed to give me. But I think my speed and my determination, if I lose the ball, I'm winning it back at all costs. So, which may be a negative sometimes, but most of the time I think positive. So, but yeah, I think it is just the love of the game, I think, brings the passion and stuff. And I think that is also very, very probably one of my strengths as well, the passion to play and want to be there, I think.
Sorry.
Oh no, sorry, Sam, you go.
I was just going to say, what qualities do you feel like you all have in the squad in general? It seems like you've got quite a lot of experience in there as well.
Absolutely, yeah. I think we've definitely got a lot of experience now. We've got a few young players as well, but I think now, which it pains me to say, but now as one of the older, more experienced players, because I never was that player, I am now. But no, I think and obviously as well at different levels, which is fantastic. So, you know, Shez has played at higher levels and stuff like that. So it's great to have that knowledge and to coach the younger players through and support them, knowing what we're doing and having been there and experienced it, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
I think we've got a really good balance across the squad, to be fair. So, like you said, we've got a variation of age, ability, and stuff like that. It's perfect, really. The squad that we've got is bang on the money, in my opinion. We've just got everything there.
Yeah, I think we just balance each other, like all of us balance everyone out nicely, really.
I mean, I was going to say balance, because when the games before the break, it seemed like there was a really good sort of mixture, and all the new signings, it seemed like when they were being announced, it was this person has played at this higher level and this person has played at this high level, and they're coming down to join Luton because they felt that that's where, you know, there's something going on. You know, there's that kind of potential, and everyone knows where, as you said before, where Luton want to be. So it does feel like you've got the real quality in there, and the experience, and the young players.
Yeah, I think.
Missing.
Yeah, I think we definitely do. I think, like we say, we get new players, but I feel as a club, we bring new players in, and they're not new for very long, if that makes sense, because we bring them in and they're part of the squad straight away, you know, with the banter. And I mean, you're never getting away with one session without, you know, someone taking the mick out of someone. And that's how we all like kind of communicate. So, you know, potentially Wiggy on her first session, for example, I'm sure she got some banter thrown her way. Someone was trying to rip her for something. I'm sure of it. But like, we say that she's just signed, but it feels like she's already been there for ages, if that makes sense. So I think we try to welcome the players quickly and bring them part of the team quickly, so that they are the newbies, but they feel part of the squad, like they should be there, if that makes sense. So everyone then can be themselves around that.
I felt like after my first training session up at Stockwell Park in last summer, that I'd been there years, like, just accepted straight away. It's such a really nice group of not just players but staff as well. Everyone's so welcoming. It just feels like you just belong.
So just a quick word on the game tomorrow then. Bedford reserves in the Feds County Cup. Are you just excited to sort of get back out on the pitch? obviously the result is important, but it's, you know, first game back, sort of get rid of the any first game nerves that are left.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think we're all definitely raring to go. Like you said, the score does mean a lot, really, for us. We want to go to the end in the competition, really. So I think I've personally never played Bedford Reserves before, so I'm not sure who they have, what they're looking like at the moment. But again, we spoke about it before, we've all been on a break, so, you know, really that there is no worry about that at the moment. We've all been in the same boat. I think the girls were looking sharp at training, so I've got no worries about that. And I think we've all got, you know, the determination to take us to the end, to be fair. But I think the overall emotion is just excited to go out, blow the game day cobwebs away and just start playing again properly, really.
Yeah, I feel exactly the same. Like, obviously, it's been like 4 months. It's a cup competition. We go into the competition, I would say, as favourites to win the whole thing. But for me, we can't take anything for granted. We don't know anything about them. They'll be up for it. Everyone's up for a giant killing, not being funny in a cup game. So, you know, we've got to be at our best and we've got to play our way and to our strengths. And, you know, not do anything different to what we'd normally do and treat it like every other game.
Well, I think that's just about covered all the questions we have prepared. I wouldn't say thank you for coming to join us. Obviously, it's our first go at it, so we want to make sure that everyone knows who you are. And obviously, captain and vice captain is a very good place to start. So I want to say thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yes,
and
thank you.
hopefully we will see you celebrating after the game tomorrow.
Fingers crossed, see you tomorrow.
Cheers.